Hello again, viewers. We're going to be closing up Chapter 4 in this episode, but before that, there's some last-minute building up I wanted to do. I'll be using another Agency's Choice force, and I'll be opening up with Demon Wing. It's pretty easy to see why Demon Wing is one of my favorite Borgs. And while it's one of the few Wing Borgs that can't actually flight cancel, its Creeping Souls projectile more than makes up for that. As I said earlier, it's easily the best tracking projectile in the game. It's as close to Fire and Forget as you can get aside from an ICBM. That's quite useful when Met accidentally sticks me in place and I can't afford to turn around. I wouldn't have got hit by that tank shell if I weren't stuck. But it's just as well. Arrows don't last long if it's only one. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of tanks in this force, and you can tell because they keep showing up. Still, I can at least get some damage in while I'm dodging those shells. And I'm focusing on the Akuma Samurai there, because I don't want it to power up from defeated Borgs. Unfortunately, it's not up to me anymore. Though next up comes Samurai Shogun. And if there's any question as to why it gets its a spot on the Agency's Choice, I think this will answer it. Yeah, its Shogun Slash is one of the more powerful attacks in the game, capable of defeating most Borgs with a single slash. Although it's not technically a destruction attack because there's more than one hit to it. Also, at a bad angle, Borgs can be knocked away from it, so it isn't always a guaranteed KO. Still, it charges up fairly quickly for such a powerful attack. And with Power Burst letting you practically rapid fire them, Samurai Shogun's easily one of the more powerful Borgs in the game. And easily the most powerful Musha Borg. And you can see he's having no trouble with these normal tanks and Panther robots. And I'm not really bothered by the Akuma Samurai now, that there's only two enemy Borgs on the field. But I don't want to use Shogun Slash when Met has the Panther robot in his grip, because I'm just more likely to hit Met than the enemy. Well, as you've seen that I've done a few times now. Kind of stinks, but Samurai Shogun just doesn't have the agility to get a good angle. So unless I want to take out Met, I just have to wait. Still, it's not too odious. And I managed to build up Power Burst very quickly. And then they give me all new targets to Shogun Slash. It looks like that's just a single ISIS witch. And without any helpers, she's practically helpless. Although I took out the one, and another shows up. And a very big spelled Victory King is bad news for me and Met. I'm trying to get away, but it seems to be following me. You can see how a very big spell powers a Borg up. A single bomb from jet mode almost destroyed Samurai Shogun. Fortunately, with the king gone, all that's left is the ISIS witch, and alone she's no threat. Although I say this as I keep missing. So that's kind of embarrassing. Still, we win.
We showed them! Operation successful!
Yeah, like I said, a fairly simple fight, but it was really just building up some extra GF energy before the chapter end. and also getting a few more prizes. Nothing too amazing, but they'll serve their purpose. Now, if you're wondering why things seem a little different, it's because we've stepped back into Ko's world. Because this is one of the actual branches of the story. If you remember, Ko was unable to have Orochi join him, and you'll see what happens later on there. Although there's no purpose to watching the same fight twice, so we're gonna cut around a bit. We'll start with the opening wave of this battle. Now, this is the first fight in story mode in the greater Tri-City area. And it's also just a swarm of Deathborg Omegas. And nothing too dangerous, but with a bunch of them around like this, they can quickly overwhelm you, so you don't want to let yourself get surrounded. Fortunately, Blue Striker doesn't have that problem. Now, you see the buildings flashing. They can be destroyed, but unlike other destructible obstacles we've seen, they won't come back if they are. So this stage only offers temporary cover. And with the first wave gone, the boss shows up. But we'll see him a little later, so we just cut to the end.
We showed them! We're awesome!
And we get a little more plot.
Huh?
Yes, if Orochi does not join you, then the Galactic Emperor just assumes direct control. And this essentially writes her out of the game. She doesn't really appear again until the ending.
Huh?
If that happens, of course. Oh yep, G-Red gives his speech, and we're gearing up for the final battle against the Galactic Emperor. And there's our chapter ender. But we're not quite done here. So let's step back into Rush's world and take another shot at the Cyber Death Dragon. This is also where we learn that Gachaborgs can change size with GF energy. Oh, that's another dragon, so I thought another Force of Knights would be appropriate.
We can win this battle!
And like I said, there's no reason to see the same fight twice. So we'll just skip the opening wave and get right to the boss. This is the Cyber Death Dragon. And it's the second largest Borg in the game. And it's quite powerful, as its size would suggest. If you've been watching the Know Your Borg series, then you've seen in Fused Dragons that a player can only use this by fusing Deathhead and Cyber Dragon, but the computer gets a special case to use it perma-fused here. It doesn't have the benefits of Power Burst with that, but it doesn't have to worry about its time limit running out. So that makes it a bit more dangerous. Fortunately, for all its power, it's really more intimidating than threatening. As long as you can manage to stay out of the 90-degree arc or so in front of it, it can't really get you with anything but its remote guns. And while those can do damage, especially if a few of them come at you at once, that's much less so than either its lasers or its destruction attack. And its only support are more Deathborg Omegas, this time 4s with the lasers. And so you can really just ignore them and focus entirely on the dragon, as the sooner you take it out, the sooner the battle ends. And thanks to liberal application of Power Burst, Our storm of hatchets brings down Cyber Death Dragon.
We showed them. That'll do.
Now, the story changes a little bit if Orochi joins you in your timeline. Rather than the Galactic Emperor taking total control over her, she simply is angered by him. Although it seems he's still got enough GF energy to use the power that destroyed Megaborg. So we're still going to have to gear up for the home stretch here. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching.